You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast.
We are just recording a podcast.
Yep.
Like, we just jumped right into that.
Yep, absolutely.
Do you think everybody listening knows that we just jumped into it? Like
we didn't do a warm-up, so we don't have to pull something?
Yeah. No, we didn't do stretches.
Might pull a comedy muscle.
The humorous. That's a
Nice.
That's not a muscle.
That's a bone, but
that's
still.
it's in the body.
Pull a bone.
Yeah. It's a bone. It's
Bump
just,
some rails, pull our bones.
it's just a bone that lives inside of you. It's not creepy at all.
Your teeth are just your outside bones. Don't forget to wash them. It's a show that happens twice a week.
Yep.
Where two old guys, normally two old guys play old games. This week, it's one old guy playing an old game.
Yeah.
Telling the other guy about it.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say that I was young all of a sudden. Like, oh, man.
You look like in my trip away, you've come back and you look more youthful.
My boyish charm. Tyler, yeah, while you were gone, I bathed in the fountain of youth.
I slaughtered 20 virgins and bathed in their blood.
Yeah.
So this week we're going to do a TADPOG. We were going to do Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's my fault because I miscalculated the dates. So next week, that'll come out on Halloween, which is ideal.
It's all good, man, because, this was great because I didn't have to play Shining Force. Mm-hmm. So let me just say that right off the bat. I'm the guy who hasn't played Shining Force. But, man, when we switched it from Five Nights to Freddy's,
You got 5 nights. You better get there.
Also another game that I haven't played yet. So I was glad that it kind of switched because Battlefield 1 came out, and I wanted to rent that from the red box. Because I gotta start playing some newer games too. I gotta stay familiar with this shit.
Yeah, no, I mean I understand that.
It was good. So yeah, it was surprisingly
I don't think I've ever played one.
I think I had played maybe the first one. But yeah, I thought the campaign was, I'm playing through it still. And there are all these little intimate war stories instead of it being a story about one guy from the beginning to the end. They kind of break it down into personal stories from 5 people.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Well, we're going to be doing Shining Force: The Sword of Hajya for the Sega Game Gear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, great. It doesn't matter because I didn't have to play it. But
either way.
If this were one of those episodes where we were both supposed to play it, we would have played entirely different games. Because I thought that you wanted to talk
the original Shining Force.
Shining Force for Genesis.
Yeah.
Have you played that one?
I have.
Well, let's just talk about that one instead.
I don't remember that. I played through sort of Hajya year before last.
Right, at Dragon
I played through the original Shining Force in 2001. Was the last time I played through
Perfect. It. Well, you've really had 15 years to let that game digest.
But before we got to all that, because we already did it, I'm your beard host, Tyler, and I went to Six Flags yesterday.
What?
It was good.
I was trying to act surprised, but I knew.
You knew. Because Melissa and I had not had a night to ourselves, and I had a 3-day weekend this week, and we were planning, let's go do something. So you're talking about going to Nashville, going to Louisville, because she wants to go to Louisville and go to that Waverly Hills, that sanitarium.
Yeah.
Up there.
Where they keep everything sanitary?
Yep. It's very clean. She loves it.
Oh, man, just the cleanest house in all of Louisville.
But it was since it's the Halloween season, everything was expensive and sectioned off. She's like, we'll go during the off season. Think of something else to do.
Sectioned off.
You can't, you have to do
lives within the sanitary.
You have to pay certain tiers to be willing to stay overnight or stuff like that to access different parts of it.
Oh, they're classists.
Yeah, classists.
Yeah.
So she really wants to do that. We'll do that eventually. And then Friday, she was like, hey, let's go to Six Flags. They have all their Halloween stuff going on. It'll be awesome. Okay, yeah, how about yeah? So we drove to St. Louis, went to Six Flags. Their Fright Night Fright Fest, whatever.
All weekend kind of deal?
I think it's like it was all of October.
Okay. What time do they close? Do you think they like have the same problem that a lot of retailers have where it's like, oh, the park's closing in 5 minutes and then people are coming in? Like they have a different rule. Why do amusement parks get to have a different rule where they're like, it's 9, everybody get
out.
the fuck out. You don't do that. You don't see that like at the mall.
There's no telling like how long people stay because like for this they were open till midnight. So then at midnight we were getting on one last ride at like 11:55. And you tell the guy was not pleased he had that many people in his line.
Right.
He's like, I'm going to do 2 more cycles and that's it. And we're done.
Interesting. So like when you control the ride at an amusement park, you're like the governor of that ride.
Yeah.
You're just throwing orders out. Just you get out.
You got it. Nope. No ride for you. You're out.
2 cycles. I'm not up for re-election this year. I don't give a shit. 2 cycles. That's it.
But of course, I'm a miserly old man going in, and I was fucking floored by all the prices, everything in the park.
Really?
It was ridiculous.
Like how expensive?
Well, every meal was at least $10 to $13 a person. That's before your drink, before anything, and every drink, no matter what the size, is like $5 or $6. So it was at least $20 per person for a shitty meal.
Yeah.
No good food.
What'd you get?
In the park? We went to like a smokehouse restaurant for lunch.
Was it haunted? Was it part of Fright Face?
They have different rides like sectioned off. Like this is not part of the ride. You can go to this. Blah blah blah.
Oh, so wait. So when you do what you did, and you're there for the Fright Night thing, like you can't access other areas of the park, or
you can,
Oh, okay.
but people like who don't want to be involved with scary stuff know
with
what
Satan, the
right.
holiday of
people
Satan.
who aren't gonna
Right.
worship Satan
Right.
like we did.
No, I get it. I'm into it.
So we
Let me
had
go worship Satan with you guys next
It's pretty
time.
good. It's pretty good.
Please.
for only $80 a ticket. You can go worship Satan.
Well, as long as it's going to a good
Yeah.
place.
And we chose one. It's gonna be more credit because it's their Halloween event. 2, we happened to go on like bring a buddy day, so anyone with a season pass could bring a friend for free. So there were 27,000 people in the park yesterday.
Wow. The one in St. Louis?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Every ride was at least like an hour and a half wait until
my
we got pretty close
God.
to midnight. So we only got to ride 9 rides, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
So was it like
We were there. We opened and closed it noon to midnight and got like 9 rides.
holy shit.
Yeah. Everything was just insanely long lines.
What do you think it like? Okay, so pretend you're working there. What is that like? Is that like awesome? Or is that like, oh shit, this is the worst day ever?
I mean, I've got to imagine even on a slow day, like you're still doing the ride constantly.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
there might not be full tilt every time, but at least one person walks up. You still have to run the ride.
Right.
So I imagine it's still pretty busy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know how I would. I don't think I would be in a good mood if I was if I was governor of the Fright Machine. I don't think that I would be. I would be so like just surly and angry. To
all
be
the
there.
staff that I saw, they were all teenagers. Every
Yeah.
one of them. So like no one's sticking around at Six Flags like
Right.
or coming in
yeah,
middle ages
yeah,
Six Flags.
yeah,
It's all
They don't have a good tenure program. Man, one more year working the Fright Machine, I'll make pension. I don't know what that means. It's a word that I hear in TV and in movies. It's like, I don't know what a pension means. Does that mean I'm going to die alone and cold and hungry? Yeah.
And nowadays it just means you're not going to get any and you have to be angry about it.
All right, I gotcha.
Enron's going to spin yours. That's how
Yeah,
it is.
that's all I need to know.
But that was good. We stayed in the hotel across the street. It had a great time.
Seriously, what's a pension? Can you explain that to me?
Your retirement fund?
Is that it? Is that what it is?
I believe so.
Do I need one of those?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Look into that.
I do too. I don't have one.
I'll look
So-
into that.
But on the way back, I text Nikki because I was passing through St. Louis going this way.
You text my wife, Nikki?
I did.
Man, and you're looking under your bed.
So I brought this back.
Oh, holy shit, man. You were hiding Emo's pizza under your bed.
Under my bed. So this for you. Here's a large Emo's pizza, pepperoni and bacon, thin crust.
Is this just for me?
Yeah,
Or do I have to-
we
do
could
I have
try,
to
or we
share
could try on
this?
the show.
Like this. Well, no. Here's my question. Do I need to share this with my wife or not? Like when I come home, is she gonna be like, "Where's that Emo's pizza?"
She does know about it. I asked her what to order you.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. Thank you, dude.
You are welcome.
Would you like to have a piece with me right now?
I've never had it, so we can try it.
Great. Well, here you go.
But because I was unaware of what's the cheese.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's not mozzarella. It's not like your regular pizza cheese.
Because I was looking at it earlier because Melissa and I had lunch at a place called Pie, like Pie's Pizza, which was fantastic.
Pies?
Yeah, pi like the mathematical symbol.
Okay.
Is
it based on the movie Pi?
Provel.
Yeah, Provel. That's right.
Because
That's
everyone...
what Emo's uses.
That's what, yeah. Because inside Pi, everyone had T-shirts that had Provel and then like the Ghostbusters X through it.
Yeah, I have eaten at Pi. I think I ate at Pi before Wizard World in St. Louis.
We did. Okay.
Because I remember those shirts.
It's really, really good. So I wasn't sure what it was. Then I went to Emo's and I saw it on their menu. And I was like, okay, what is that? So apparently it is a white processed cheese, particularly popular in St. Louis cuisine. It's a combination of cheddar, Swiss, and provolone that tastes nothing like any of them. Straight from the Wikipedia.
So it's like government cheese.
Yep. So there is although popular in the St. Louis area, Provel is rarely used anywhere else.
Yeah. I like it. And I didn't grow up on it.
Yeah, so I'm unfamiliar with it, but it sounds like, using Cheese Whiz on a Philly cheesesteak and stuff like that, like regional kind of things.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm gonna have another slice. This is very nice. Thank you.
It's different. It's not bad by any means. It's good, but it is, I taste it. It is different.
Yeah. It's almost a little creamier. The cheese is almost a little creamier.
You're right, it is. But
I'm just gonna chow down. I'm just gonna eat. I'm very hungry. Sorry, podcast canceled. Dave's hungry.
Because let's see, the Panda Express that we had for dinner in the park, and again, same price. Like I think it costs us $45 to eat at Panda Express. Yeah.
Oh my god.
We had such a great time. But man, eating in the park was crazy.
Okay, so if you work at Panda Express, how tired are you of hearing about the Panda Express and Six Flags at meetings?
Yeah.
Like your weekly meeting where it's like, guys, store that does the best this week, we all get free televisions. We get free 4K large televisions. But unfortunately, as you all know, the St. Louis Six Flag location is also in our district. I hear they're going to have 27,000 people in a day.
Each one paying about $25 per person. Yeah. So even like if everyone paying discounted, if every single person in that park paid discounted tickets, didn't get the haunted house pass, didn't get a flash pass, they made $2 million yesterday before anything else. So that's not counting concessions, anything. And they have to make a crazy, ridiculous killing on concessions.
Oh man, concessions.
They're all super, super young teenagers. So they're all working minimum wage. So they're not paying their staff very much.
Yeah.
At least their service staff.
Yeah, they're not earning that pension that I've heard so much about. I've learned a lot today.
But let's see, some rides, I haven't been to Six Flags in a while. I remember the Ninja being a good ride. It's fucking awful.
What is it? What is the Ninja? Is that a roller coaster?
Because we rode the Ninja, terrible. But everyone, that was like almost no line to the Ninja. It was the only thing in the park because they also had another thing called like a roller coaster where they gave you VR equipment. You put that on, and it puts you in a different environment while you ride the roller coaster.
Did it make you sick? We
didn't do it. That line was double the rest. That was at least a 2.5, 3 hour line. So did not fucking touch that one.
Doesn't it seem like that is something that would totally, like they just have to hose out the roller coaster every time because everyone throws up on it?
The only one that almost got me was that one we rode at midnight, like the Fireball, and it's basically just a roller coaster that's only the loop because you would just spin around in the loop.
Oh yeah,
and it would go to the top and
it would
freeze
hang
for like 10 seconds
God.
and then go back down and do it all over again. So that was close. That one made me kind of feel bad, but other than that, and all the haunted houses were good because lots of the maze time. There was a haunted hayride that was we were in line for that for an hour and a half, and it was It was pretty lame. It was pretty lame.
Did you leave a Yelp review?
We should have. The creepiest part of that was the guy driving the tractor. So
Really?
and he was not intended to be scary. He was just a really weird dude. What do? I drive this John Deere tractor around in circles for 6 hours.
You have any children?
So it was just like the premise of that haunted hayride was, I guess we were visiting a wrecking yard that was also a toxic waste dump. So you're just riding the hayride through it while mutated people just jump out and scream at you to go home.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted to hear after you paid $90. Like, that's actually what they do with the employees who are like feeling disgruntled that day when they clock in. They're like, oh shit, we need to send Jan to the mutated field so that she can work out some of these aggressions.
Well, see, I wonder, like, outside of Halloween, what's that big field with all these like cars and barns and shit like that? Is it just set there all year long?
It's the Mad Max thing. Yeah, they just do post-apocalyptic when the Halloween's over. Yeah.
But that was, but the other maze parts where you go in, like, one was this demented toy maker and you were going through his factory. That was pretty good. My favorite was the one called Blackout. So you walk in and it's just pitch black. The whole time you're doing it, it's pitch black. So there are actors hidden in the corners who jump out or shine lights in your face, but you're just trying to maneuver. You cannot see your hand in front of your face, pitch black.
So it's like the end of Silence of the Lambs a little bit.
I don't remember.
No, I'm not going to spoil it.
It's been a long. I've seen it before, but it's been a long time.
The scene where, man, I don't. Is it okay to like talk about the ending of Silence of the Lambs? Like, has it been long enough?
Yeah.
It's where like Jodie Foster is down in the basement and the lights are off, and he's wearing the night vision and she's not.
Oh, okay.
That is creepy. So like I can see like that is not just creepy. Excuse me, I misspoke. That is fucking terrifying. Like being in a situation where someone has like so much more power over you, you know, like that is really like terrifying.
Yeah.
So like that whole like pitch black haunted house thing, like knowing there are actors there that can see you but you can't see them. That is scarier to me than just, you know,
because that was scary. And they were all in masks. And they would jump out and the maze was sorted out where it was confusing. Like we ran into so many people going backwards because they got turned around. So that was good. The toy maker shop, they all had really good camouflage because in the toy maker shop, like they had all the creepy dolls hanging out. And we're about to leave. I look up at one and I'm like, that one looks a little different, just to see it come to life and come at Melissa, and she can't even make a noise.
Yeah.
She just immediately just like covers her face and just runs. But then like people in like covered in like the leaf camouflage, hiding in shrubs and shit like that, and jumping out. I was pretty pleased with it, especially for only additional $10 to go to all that. So
yeah, that sounds worth it.
Yep.
So how many haunted houses did you do?
I think we got to 5 of them.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's pretty good. I mean, considering that you rode other rides as well.
yeah, because none of that opened. Most of that didn't open until like 6:45.
What makes hey, remember that thing you said a few minutes ago that everyone I'm sure forgot about? What makes the ninja? Like what makes like do you like throw shuriken and stuff while you're on the roller coaster?
No, I just got like a ninja like emblazoned on the hood.
Do you know how long that ride has been there? Like that has
I remember
been there for a long time.
that was the new ride whenever I first went to Six Flags with my youth group.
So that was in the 90s?
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense then. Because remember when like ninjas were... I feel like ninjas aren't nearly as popular as they were when we were kids.
Oh, no.
Because it's like everything was ninja, I felt like.
I could be wrong, but I feel like I remember the ninja coming out around the same time Opryland closed.
Ah, I see.
So
Yeah.
that's been a little while.
Man, Opryland, that was great.
Yeah, the Hangman.
Yeah.
Oh fuck
Yeah,
yes.
The Hangman was great.
But yeah, that's what I did.
I stayed inside all weekend. Like,
That also sounds good.
like seriously, I didn't leave the house. I got home Friday night at 7. I didn't leave the house until we started recording this 45 minutes ago.
Good. I think that's the way to do it.
My only complaint is that no Pokemon spawn around me that I can catch from Pokemon Go.
they didn't have any good Pokemon to catch inside the park. I mean, everything was a Pokestop, but it's just all garbage Pokemon the whole time.
That is a fucking bummer.
I think I saw a Machop at one point. I got a lot of Clefairies. I don't have a Clefable yet, so that was nice. I'm a lot closer to that. But I hatched a shit ton of eggs because I was walking around the whole time.
Dude, she is so clef. Yeah, she's clefable. God, she's so clefable. Damn it.
I want to see that cleft.
Oh, damn, I love that cleft. Yeah, I didn't do anything other than sometimes be a dad, and then most of the time play Battlefield 1.
That's the appropriate amount.
Yeah, just enough where it's like, hey, remember me? I live here. I'm the guy who really wants these cartoons to stop. So like every moment Henry would leave the room, I would like switch it over to Battlefield 1 because I don't want him to see just wholesale murder until he's at least 5 years old. I'm so like worried about shit like that where it's like, because he doesn't know. He's not even 2 yet. He doesn't know like at any given time what he's watching. Like he doesn't know A, what it is, or B, what the fuck it means. So like I worry about stuff like that where it's like, I don't personally have a problem with violent video games, obviously. I don't really think that it causes any long-term violence. I mean, I know but for some reason, when it's Henry, I'm like, man, I don't want this to fuck him up. Like, I don't want, and also I don't want to be playing a game and the whole time being like, all right, see how I just murdered that guy? That is wrong.
Don't do that.
We do not do that.
This game is kind of unfair because all you have to do is just kill one person. They call you a murderer for the whole rest of the game.
Yeah, well, maybe when he's like old enough, I can give him a really boring game where it like starts out really exciting and you shoot one guy and then the police show
go to
up,
jail.
and the rest of the rest of the game is like you in jail real time and then your court real time and then like dialogue trees with your lawyer who doesn't give a shit because he's a public defender. Yeah,
I've got 10,000 other cases today. Sorry, blah, 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 done. Go back to your cell. Wait.
I think like the beginning that like where you commit the murder, let's put that in air quotes. I think that has to be so high production. Like that, you have to sell that as being like, oh my God, that would have been super fun to have continued that 3-minute segment that starts the game. So like people, so they get really frustrated in jail.
Yeah.
But there's a one achievement. It's a platinum, and it's at the very end. You have to. It doesn't matter how it goes. You just have to play 280 hours of this game.
Time served. Platinum.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey man, if we can produce that game for like like 5 cents, all we gotta do is sell just a few thousand.
Get it greenlit on Steam. They'd love it.
Yeah.
I mean, if Desert Bus is a hit, then that would be a hit. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't feel like you and I have the je ne sais quoi as the bullshit folks, Penn and Teller. That was their game, right?
Yep.
I don't think we could sell a game like that.
Well, we love video games. They hate video games, so it was all just out of spite.
Is that really the case?
Like it was supposed to be just totally skewering because they don't like video games. That's what I read. So
interesting. I guess kind of. Also, like it kind of seems shitty. Where it's like I'm not like, hey, I don't like magic, fuckers.
I mean, I've read Penn Jillette's books. I enjoy him enough. I love Bullshit the show.
Yeah, me too.
Penn Jillette is an asshole anyway. Yeah. Oh man, that dude's an asshole.
It just seems like a weird thing to like go like to a completely other form of media and be like, this sucks. So we're gonna make one. Yeah,
and you're gonna suffer if you play it because you're a bitch.
Yeah, that's like, look, it's not brilliant if I go out and put on a shitty magic show. So why is it brilliant that they're
you just start doing magic shows to make people really hate magic?
Right? Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, oh, look, what's in my hat? Is it a rabbit? No, it's just turds. I'm throwing them at you. Get the fuck out. This is magic.
Magic. Look, come see all magic shows. They're just like this.
All of them.
Everyone.
Yeah. Oh man, how cool! How fun would it be to like next election year? We take all of our Patreon money, every single coin, and just put it towards putting together a smear campaign against magic. Yeah. I feel like here's the scariest part. Having lived in the South for a lot of my life, I see that going very, very well in the conservative Christian parts of the country.
Well, we get funded.
Yeah. Oh man, you're right. We don't even have to kickstart this bitch. We don't even have to Patreon this. We just lobby for it.
It's like that Pennsatucky in Orange is the New Black because she's going to have an abortion and basically the doctor in there calls her trash. So she leaves, gets a shotgun, comes back, walks in the door, kills the doctor.
Wait, what? When does this happen?
At one of the seasons when you're getting her backstory.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So
I thought maybe she got out.
So all the protesters out front see her just walk in and kill an abortionist. So her entire like defense fund is all funded by churches because they think she's like a radical, like standing up for Christian values
She's
kind of thing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that we should do this thing. Fuck magic.
Yep. That's what it's called.
That's my Bible verse. Fuck Magic is also the name of the Smooth album I produced. I'm Dave. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night.
All right.
So what the fuck is this game? Shining Force, The Sword of Hajya?
Mm-hmm.
Is this... Okay, so when I searched for that, a whole bunch of stuff came up for Shining Force 2, Sword of Hajya. Are there 2 Sword of Hajya games?
Oh, wait a minute. I think you're right. Maybe it is Shining Force 2, The Sword of Hajya.
Can I show you the logo and you can... Or the title screen and you can tell me?
Yeah.
Can you see that's very tiny?
That is... That's it. Yeah, that's
tiny.
it.
Okay, so the game...
I remember the 2 part, because there's another Shining Force 2, so that's kind of strange. But
yeah,
okay.
it is weird. It's a weird naming convention. So was the first Shining Force for Game Gear, did you play that one? And was that also a sword?
The first Shining Force, I'm not sure what it was for. I want to say it was for Genesis. I didn't play it until the Sega Smash Pack for Dreamcast. And then it was included in that. That's when I played it.
The Game Gear game was?
No, the Shining Force. The original.
Ooh, this is confused cast. I am so confused right now.
So just sort of Hajya is what we'll call it. Sort of Hajya was for Game Gear.
Okay, Sword of Hajya.
That's the very first one that I played.
Okay.
I had a Game Gear. I got it for Christmas, and I got a few random games. I didn't ask for this. I didn't know what it was. It was just my parents bought it for me, I guess, because it looked cool.
That's so weird. Because I feel like your parents, it's
not a thing they normally
do. It doesn't feel like a normal thing. Cause it's also bizarre because my parents were very much the same. They gave me a Game Gear for, I think, Christmas one year. And it was like, okay, I don't understand why I'm getting this from you two who hate me playing video games. But okay.
And surprisingly, like, I put it in, and out of the gate, I fucking love this game.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I loved this game so much as a kid. And I played through it when it got released on the DS store 2 years ago. I played through it at Dragon Con obsessively.
Yeah, you did. You played it a lot then.
Yeah. I love all the Shining Force games. I think they're so good.
Okay, so I have never played a Shining Force game. So I'm going to be honest, this podcast, this episode is very selfish, I feel like, for me, because you get...
Or me. I said, so I want to talk about this game.
Well, okay, so we're both selfish people. We've settled that. So my question to you is, can you explain Shining Force to me? Like, what is Shining
Before reading from Wikipedia?
Yeah, I mean,
See if I can tell you.
Yeah,
I can. I'll try to describe it to you first.
Okay.
Let's start off as a base. Imagine Final Fantasy Tactics.
Okay.
Because you are on a large grid.
Okay. Isometric?
Nope.
Okay. Top down?
Yep.
Okay.
And you're on the large map, and you see on one side is the enemy forces, on the other side are your forces.
Okay.
And then you have some sort of a goal in order to complete this mission as you're basically progressing through the story, battlefield to battlefield.
So they're a mission objective. It's not
sort of
not just like kill all of the opponents.
Sometimes it's kill one particular opponent. Because sometimes you might be fucking overwhelmed and there's no way you could kill every single one. So you have to find the leader and take it out, then all the others die.
Can I tell you something right now that
Yes.
I'm not bullshitting you?
Okay.
I wish that you would have told me I wish you would have said those exact words that you just said explaining the game like 10 years ago. Because like I am like fucking jazzed right now to play Shining Force. I didn't realize that it was tactical like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a straight up JRPG, like turn-based combat style thing. Where like positioning doesn't really matter and stuff like that.
I mean, getting like behind them or stuff doesn't really matter. It's still a little more basic than that.
I gotcha.
But it's more nuanced than like the rock, paper, scissors kind of thing where one unit is strong against another unit's a bit stronger than another unit.
The Pokemon style kind
Right.
of thing.
Yeah.
So that's not the case in Shining Force?
I think it's a little there are tons of different classes. Because like in Sword of Hajya, you start out, top down, it goes turn based on speed.
Okay.
And then you have like speed movement is how many you can move on your turn. And then you have magic or attack item, things like that. So And then you're given, sometimes the terrain is totally different. There's one very unique battle in Sword of Hajya that I'll get to, but for the most part, and then you have to go over bridges, so you're bottlenecked sometimes.
Right.
So you have to be careful of flying enemies can attack you on the bridge, and you have no recourse. So you have to be careful about who you send through, or make sure you have enough movement to cross the bridge and one go through, or you'll get flanked and fucked.
So does it flanked and
fucked.
All spit roasting all the time on flankedandfucked.com. So, okay, so question for you there. How is the UI? Like, because let me give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
I love Final Fantasy Tactics. I think that's a great game. I love the War of the Lions re-release a lot more. I know that's blasphemy, but
No. I think for the most part, I think War Alliance is better than the original.
Yeah.
There are a few things I miss about the original, but I think War Alliance overall is better.
I feel like War Alliance like tells a story.
Yeah.
It's the same story, but I feel like I can understand it better in War of the Lions. Translation's a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do have a complaint about Final Fantasy Tactics, and that is I feel like the UI, or not really even the UI, but like how information is displayed to you, I feel like is all weird. Because it's like in Final Fantasy Tactics, I never once was really like, okay, well, how many movement does this character have? And then like count out squares or anything.
Yeah.
It's always just kind of been like, I don't know, select this character, go to his maximum range. Like I never really felt like I was making very good tactical decisions because the information was so hard for me to find. Like, how was that handled in Shining Force games?
I mean, I don't remember any sort of a tutorial really. You just start after easy battles that get increasingly difficult.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, there's another layer added onto it because you also have to sort of decide in difficult battles there will be more treasure chests hidden around the battlefield. So you have to choose like, are you going to go for those? Or are you going to try to get the win? So, but not a lot of times if you go for those treasure chests, hidden or obvious, that there'll be items in those like
good items,
health bread, which is like a one-time use item. It increases whoever uses it on their max HP by like 5
permanently.
Oh
yeah,
there are all sorts of stats
that's a
to
big
do that
deal.
on. So then you have to decide, like when you get like the one that increases movement, do you use that on somebody with low movement, or do you put it on top of a higher person so they can really get across the battlefield and take out a general quickly?
Right. What are the classes?
Oh God, there's so many. There are a few repeats, but for the most part, everyone is their own class with different abilities. So like, and then the thing about Shining Force that I love is anytime a character reaches level 10 or 20, then they can go get a promotion and get a different class. So that changes the way they look, their weapon set, they get more spells, and they start back at level 1 and progress forward again.
So it's kind of like that Final Fantasy 1 style?
Yeah.
Where you upgrade your class?
Yep. And then what I like, sort of Hajya, I don't remember this being a part of it. I don't remember any special items like that. But one thing I really like that Shining Force 2 does is there will be items you find in Shining Force 2 that seemingly don't have any purpose. Like you can't use them in battle. You can't do anything.
Can you get rid of them or do they stay in your inventory?
I think you can get rid of them if you want to. But then like I never got rid of them because I was like, what the fuck is this for?
Right.
It turns out whenever you go to give a class a promotion, if it's the right class and the right item and it's in their inventory, they have an option to basically go to a more advanced class to skip a class.
See, that is amazing. I love that. I love that kind of stuff in games, especially of this time. But like, dude, who would know that? Are there hints in the game that like, can you like draw conclusions, or it's like,
yeah, there's like, I think one that I got that I figured out pretty easily was like the summoner's orb.
Okay.
So if you're going to promote a mage, normally they would go from a mage to a wizard. If they have the summoning orb in their inventory, they go from a mage to a summoner.
Ooh.
So that one, and then summoners are fucking badass.
Is the item consumed?
Yep.
When it's okay.
Yep.
So summoners, would you say summoners are the most powerful class in the game?
No, I think Master Monk is probably the most powerful class in the game.
Master Monk, which is just like a black belt monk kind of deal, or
because Master Monks are promoted from clerics.
Oh, right.
So
okay.
clerics are normally like they're good at healing, but they're shitty at everything else.
Mm-hmm.
If you find like I forget what item it was,
except for fuck magic,
except for foot magic,
Right.
give it to that person. They become a master monk. So then like they have excellent white magic to heal themselves, boost themselves. Then they're amazing attack, amazing agility, amazing movement.
Wow,
Like
interesting.
So
okay,
and you can get I think 2 master monks in Shining Force 2.
Okay, so how is it handled in Sword of Hajya?
I don't remember any items like that being in Sword of Hajya.
But still, your units, do you call them units or your characters?
I'd say characters because they're all distinct.
I see.
There's no like you don't have like warriors or whatever. Every single person has a name, a character portrait. You pretty much find out why they've joined the Shining Force. They'll have some sort of story before you meet them, or they'll join you in battle once or twice, and you'll lose them for a little bit, and they'll come back and they'll join you. You know, you'll find some other reason. People turn traitor against the evil forces and join you and things like that. So
you said the Shining Force. What is the Shining Force? Is that their unit name?
Shining Force is the name.
Army?
I think generally that's the name of your troop. Because you're I think at most normally I want to say between 10 to 15 characters on the board at a time, and then you'll have like because you go back to town and you can sub out different people, but so you have to choose a little bit like, do I want to focus on more healing? Do I need more magic in this battle and sub people out?
Yeah.
Because you can have like up to like 5 people alternates, but it's also difficult because keeping everyone leveled up is kind of hard, and it's not super easy to grind because it's a straight linear progression.
So there aren't like random encounters and that kind of stuff?
You just go from...
Yikes.
You are in Shining Force, so I'll dip into the story now. Shining Force,
okay.
Prince Nick, who is the hero of this kingdom. He's going to be king. Yeah. He's the Nickest of Nicks. He's the bearer of the Sword of Hajya.
Okay.
It gets stolen from him, and then as he's like fighting to get it back, he gets cursed, and it turns his right hand to stone. So was one of their strongest warriors, and now
that's a sword in hand. I'm assuming.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's missing the artifact, the Sword of Hajya, and then one of their best warriors is now incapacitated. So basically, the A team, including Prince Nick, they're going on a campaign. They're going to get the Sword of Hajya back from the forces of Iom.
The A team.
The A team.
They all pile up in their van.
Yeah, yeah, just ride out.
Dun, 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 dun.
So like you're like a new recruit, and you come in, and they get the general tells you what they're going to do, and basically everyone who's worth a shit, they all leaving you.
Why?
Because they're on the campaign to get the Sword of Hajya back, and they leave the D team to guard the castle.
I see.
That's
and you're
you.
Good.
That's you and like your other 4 or 5 friends.
Oh, dude, I love this. I love this story already. I love this setup.
So as you're sort of like, they're all complaining how bored they are, you're staying around the kingdom, suddenly it's attacked. Shit. So then...
By the Sword of Hajya.
Yeah, it's back.
It's back.
So then you have to, you fight and you figure out, like, something's happening. Like, a force is going to come up and flank Nick or something like that. You find out a reason, and then you have to follow him, and you're a lot less skilled. So as you're trying to catch up to him and warn him or help him, then you start going on your own path, and you find out more about the story, so you're also doing your own thing as you recruit more people and find out more secrets, and you're trying to help. Still close to the end of the game, that's when you like catch up. You can recruit Prince Nick and everything. It's all good. And basically anybody in this game who has a character portrait, you can recruit somehow. It's not as complicated as like Shining Force 2. Because like you don't walk around town or anything in this game, but in Shining Force 2 you do, and there'll be people in towns, and there's an overworld map in 2 and things like that. You'll backtrack to try and find characters and stuff like that. So
a question for you. Since you talked about how the story's paced, and you don't walk around town and stuff like that, but they still tell a story to you between missions, I'm assuming.
Yep.
So in that regard,
so right before the battlefield, like you'll be camped out, everyone's talking and strategizing, and then you'll just get attacked out of the blue.
Okay.
Or they'll be talking and you need to go get the drop on this person.
So it sounds similar to the newer Fire Emblem games.
Yeah.
As far as how the story's told.
I'd say so.
Yeah. Interesting.
But it's an early precursor, and you'll see cutscenes from the evil perspective. So you'll see like the leader of the Dark Forces and his 5 generals.
I see.
So you're slowly, as you catch up, you're basically fighting. Each big chapter event is you killing one of the big generals.
Okay.
Until you get down at the end.
Okay, cool. How long of a game is it?
I mean, I want to say it's a pretty even for a Game Gear game, like it's
like over 20 hours?
No, I would say 20 hours. Probably 10 to 15 hours maybe.
Okay. That's not
maybe
bad.
Closer to 15.
That's not bad. Like that actually seems like kind of appetizing to me because that's like for like a role playing game, that's kind of a sweet spot, I think.
So, I can't speak highly enough. And okay, the overworld map graphics are decent.
It's
you know what
game,
you're supposed to be. But whenever you attack another unit, it goes into another screen that does look. It's like Fire Emblem. Then you go into the side by side, very detailed, and every character has a different looking attack, and when you get promoted, your armor looks different, your attack is different, things like that. So then it goes into a very stylized battle screen.
Does that make Does that make battles take forever? Like it's switching? Does it like keep switching from view modes? Like once, like you've got an overhead battle view on a grid, and then when someone does an attack, like it just switches.
Because you'll go like
view?
your character will go up to a goblin,
Right.
confirm that you're going to stop your movement here. Click on attack, choose the goblin, and then it goes to a split screen of the goblin standing there, your character, who then swings his sword or casts the spell, and then you see damage happen.
Yeah.
You get experience, and then it goes back to overhead view.
Okay, I got you. And is the transition quick?
Yeah, it's quick.
Okay.
Yep.
Because that's like, I guess that's the real big reason I asked you is because like, you know how, did you ever play the Chrono Trigger release on PlayStation where it was like part of like the, one of the anthologies that Square did?
Oh, everything had like a load time.
Yeah,
everything.
but it's like the screen, you'd leave an area, you'd walk out a door and then the screen would fade to black and then like it would take 3 seconds and then it would come back up. 3 seconds doesn't seem like a long time unless you're playing a game where it all just involves like walking through doors and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember this being I remember it being never being an issue for me.
Good.
Even on the playthrough, I thought it was totally fine.
Good.
And of course, the experience, like if the unit you're fighting is a lot more powerful than you, you'll get a lot of experience just for making an attack that that barely hurts them.
Yeah.
But as you get higher in level, you get less experience for attacks, and you get the most for killing an enemy.
Okay.
The most you can get in a single turn is 49 experience points.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah.
That seems like a small amount.
But it's because it starts off like 100 level up, then 200, then 500.
Yeah.
So, and then eventually, like if it kind of caps you out of being too powerful because once you're fighting an enemy type and you kill them, you'll get 1 experience. So it kind of, it keeps you from being like, because the only way you can grind is really to fight, leave 1 enemy unit alive, then escape the battle, then go back and do it again.
I see.
So
that sounds tedious.
It's the only, I mean, I don't think I remember doing that on my playthrough. I don't think
Yeah.
you have to really grind if you don't want to.
Yeah.
There's some characters like if they're far behind and you want them to catch up, then you have to baby them a little bit. Like a healer, you'll have to like have 3 other units wear someone down and then defend until it's your healer's turn, have them come up and do their 2 points of damage. So then they get 49 experience
So
points.
healers do get experience for killing as well as like
Killing, they get like usually you'll get a lot for healing too if you heal a lot.
Okay, that was
if
gonna
you
be my
barely heal
question.
anything, you'll get like 10 experience points. You always get 10 experience points for using an item on somebody.
Yeah.
So
Man, you know, I love games like this where it's like you're making a tactical role playing game. I like that a lot. But the whole leveling process like just makes me I'm curious if that even matters. Like if these games should have these leveling systems because that sounds like something I would hate to do. I would hate to just like build up a character by doing some lame shit like that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't mind if it's like doing battles and stuff like that. But like even in like Final Fantasy Tactics, this is what I would do. I would, at the end of a battle, I would keep 1 enemy locked down somewhere. And then while
accumulate.
Yep. And then everybody would fucking use their thing, like their accumulate, which would gain them a shitload of experience.
you do have to do something like that.
No, I don't like
if you really, I don't think it's necessary.
Right.
But, and then healers, like it's difficult. Healers are the most tedious to keep leveled. But eventually toward the end, once you get them decently powerful, then it's not so hard because once you have an area of effect healing spell, then you're going to get like 49 experience points every time you cast a spell if you're on a group that needs it.
I see.
So, but, and of course, like archer units. So, like, usually there's a centaur with a crossbow and then like an elf with a standard bow, and bow and crossbows function differently. Like, their range will be a little bit different. So, it's good to use both of them and then be, about who you want to go up in front, your heavies and things like that. But everyone's just a little bit different. And I feel like they also will put sort of sleeper characters in there that like on your first playthrough, you kind of ignore them. Like they seem kind of shitty, so you just kind of gloss over them. But then I remember, because the character Luke, who's with you from the beginning, I remember when I first got him, he had hardly any HP. His attack was super shitty. His movement was super shitty.
Doesn't know anything but moisture farming.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I glossed over him. On my second playthrough, I was like, I'm going to focus on him. He is probably the most powerful character in the game.
Really?
Because he's a slow build, but once you get him to a certain point, he's gaining tons every single level. So he's just one of those. I feel like, and there's some characters are like that. They're just sort of sleeper powerful characters. Yeah. And then there are 2 hidden characters in Sword of Hajya that you have to you wouldn't know. You have to go up to a random spot. You have to check random spots because you go up, you see a treasure chest, hit check, pick the area, open the treasure chest.
Okay.
Or if you have to check, but these hidden characters are on the battlefield, and you have to walk up and like check a wall, and you'll actually see that you can check it, open it up. Because there's one battle where you check a part of the wall, and a ninja appears. He's like, "Oh, you found me. All right, you're worthy. I'll join you." Boom, he joins you. And there's another battle with Roman columns. If you check the middle one, a samurai appears and thanks you for freeing him and joins you.
Interesting. So this is safe to say this game is very high fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because I didn't even know, like when you said a centaur joins you, it's like, wow, that is really high fantasy. Like I'm not even used to that kind of shit from like Final Fantasy or anything, where everybody's a very pretty human usually.
Well, I think Luke is, I think he's a giant. You recruit a centaur. I don't know what the high-ranking general under Prince Nick is. He's some sort of dog man in golden armor.
Duke Dogman.
He eventually he joins you on a really interesting battle. One of the most terrain-focused battles.
Where you got to get the frisbee off the roof.
There's because your army has to go through this valley in order to reach the next part.
Okay.
And they're like, we do this quickly because if we get ambushed here, we
you don't
want
want to be in a valley,
fucked.
right?
Of course, you do get ambushed.
Sure.
And when you're there, of course, the enemies are coming in from the side. But at the other end of the valley, they also set up this machine. So your movement is super narrow. So you've got enemies coming at you from the front, behind, and from the sides.
Yeah.
Your movement's restricted, and that thing charges up every 3 rounds.
What does it do when it activates?
A laser beam that goes down the entire length of the valley. It hits the enemies too. But when it hits you, it basically it will nearly kill everyone that's there. There are little divots in the wall where you can hide characters.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it just demolishes you.
This sounds like an advanced game. When did this come out?
Do you pull it up? I don't know if you have it. I have it.
No, I don't.
Okay.
It says 1993/94 on the title screen.
All right.
So I'm assuming Japan probably got it in 93 and we got it in 94.
Yeah.
That seems like a fucking advanced game for 1994.
I was instantly hooked. I thought it was such a fantastic game. And for the Game Gear, there was just nothing else like it.
So was this the only Shining Force? How many Shining Force games are there? Do you know?
The Shining Force games, Sword of Hajya, Shining Force 2. There is a Shining Force 3 that only got partially translated.
Huh.
I know the rest of it was fan translated. You could download it. Ryan has it for Saturn. I need to actually play it. And then they kind of take a weird departure and things change. So I never really got into it as much. But I think Shining in the Darkness is sort of another take in that world. Or
what did they change? Just like the style of gameplay, or
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay.
So
interesting.
But the base those 3 games,
I
think are fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like there are many. I'm kind of surprised because this sounds like a cool.
There are plenty of the other spin-off series, but just these core games are the only.
I think it's kind of got a bad name.
Yeah.
I don't like immediately. Shining Force just kind of seems like, I don't know. I hear it and it's like, what is that? Like, that doesn't tell me anything about the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I realize it makes sense in the game world. Like, the Shining Force is like the A-team. But I don't know. As an outsider looking in, like, Shining Force, what is that about?
Because let me pull up Sword of Hajya.
Yeah.
No, this is our Game Boy Advance release of it? I didn't know that.
Of Sword of Hajya?
Let me see. What is this?
I don't know.
Shining Force. Oh, okay. I don't know what that's. Game Boy Advance. Shining Force has the same stylized logo.
Yeah.
Resurrection of the Dark Dragon. I'm not sure. I think that's the original. That's the very first one. I recognize the hero. It
just got a release on the GBA.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Sword of Hajya. Yeah, it's great podcasting. I'm gonna look this up right now. 59. Ooh.
$59 what?
59 for the Game Gear copy.
$59?
Yep.
Let's see.
Used.
Do you remember how expensive Game Gear games were when we were kids?
I don't.
I don't either.
'Cause I
don't-
guess
probably
more
like
expensive because I didn't have any.
$60, yeah.
Because I had the Sonic that came with it. I had Shining Force. I feel like I had a few more. I think I might have had like 6 or 7 games total for the Game Gear. Oh, I had X-Men for the Game Gear.
I don't think I had that many either because like I remember I had the Sonic 2 that came with it, and I remember for the longest time that's all I had because I beat that game. Like that's how long I had to wait. I had to wait long enough to get good enough at Sonic 2 for the Game Gear.
Shining Force Sword of Hajya. In Japan, it was Shining Force Gaiden 2. So it was a sequel to. It is not to be confused with Shining Force 2, as Gaiden 2 is the sequel for the original Shining Force Gaiden.
I don't see how that could be confusing at all.
Yeah. Along with Gaiden, the Sword of Hajya was remade as Shining Force CD, which contains 2 new scenarios that further continue the story of Cypress.
Have you played that?
I have not. I didn't know that was a thing. I will play it, though.
Yeah.
But, man, having something like this portable, even though, I had to keep the Game Gear basically plugged into a wall at all times.
Yeah, me too.
But
I get it.
But, the only comparable portable experience I had was Link's Awakening on the Game Boy.
But that sounds like, I've played Link's Awakening. This game sounds like an entirely different experience.
Yeah, it scratches that RPG itch. That's my favorite back in the day. And I introduced Josh to this game, and then Josh was hooked on Shining Forces. That's where our Lego universe was the Shining Force. And then we go back and forth, and we had each character in their classes, all that kind of shit. Really inspired by these games. But I can't recommend it enough. Especially if you enjoyed Fantasy Tactics, I think you'll enjoy this game. Although it's much more simple, because it's much older, but...
Just how it looks or how it plays or what?
Could be you don't have all because there are so many layers in tactics, like what position you are to an enemy, shields, classes, area. It's a lot more complicated. This has it's more straightforward and streamlined because of course it's a Game Gear game. So.
Yeah, this is all turn-based, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think, I don't think that I am an RTS kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I like tactical stuff. And I guess Shining Force isn't an RTS, but all this like tactical talk, all this tactical crunch, it just reminds me that's like, I played StarCraft 2 with Sandwich Pope Phil and my cousin David last night after D&D. Holy shit, man, I cannot play StarCraft 2, nor is it fun because it's like, and that was like a weird realization I had last night where it's like, it kind of made me sad where it's like, it kind of make me sad.
Kind of.
Welcome to where I talk like a 6-year-old for the rest of the podcast. It kind of made me sad because it was like, man, I remember when I really liked like Warcraft 2 and, mainly Warcraft 2. And then like now, I don't know if I think I was just a shitty Warcraft 2 player or a shitty RTS player because like Phil is really good at that game. Like, it's like, and that's where like he kind of taught me that like StarCraft 2 is all about making very quick decisions like as rapidly as possible. Because it's like, are you familiar with APM?
Nope.
That is an acronym.
Attacks per minute?
Actions per minute.
Oh, okay.
Actions per minute. So like the game keeps track of your actions per minute, and that is like a metric of how efficient you are, like how much you can produce in a minute. Like that is like
it's not sound fun to me. Yeah.
And see, what's weird is if that stat had been hidden, it wouldn't bother me at all. But now that I know it's a measurable thing that the game deems important enough to let you know about, it's like, oh no, I don't think I can ever do actions per minute. I don't think that I can. Yeah, I can't do that.
That game just sounds stressful to me and not story heavy enough for me to enjoy.
Well, see, I've been playing through the single player, and I do like the story.
Yeah.
So, like, I might just never, ever, ever do multiplayer again.
I think that's totally valid.
And just do the single player just to get the story.
Yeah.
Sorry for that little StarCraft 2 break.
No, good. Yeah, we needed it.
Yeah. I could tell. Everyone listening was like, God damn it. They just talked about StarCraft 2 for just a minute. StarCraft 2, the Sword of Hajya.
But I think it has a good conclusion, plenty of good and interesting characters, plenty of depth. The story It's simple and it's kind of trite, but it's still like entertaining. Like, I mean, the cast of colorful and varied characters is really good.
Have you played Shining Force 2 for the Genesis?
I have.
Maybe you don't want to answer this question, but Shining Force 2 is on Digital Trends list. So we are going to be talking about it at some point. How does Shining Force 2 for the Genesis compare to Sword of Hajya for the Game Gear?
Better in every way.
Oh, Shining Force 2 is better in every way?
Better in every way.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
It's an improvement on what fantastic foundation Sword of Hajja laid down.
Really? Holy shit.
Yep.
I did not expect that because I know how much you love Sword of Hajja.
Oh, Shining Force 2 is better in every way.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So how long of a game is that? Do you recall?
I remember it being longer.
Okay.
It's got to be a lot longer.
Well, now all of a sudden I don't like it as much.
So, I mean, it's more because was it 15 hours? I'd have to look at up how long to beat.
Don't worry about it.
But I mean, Shining Force. Of course, in Shining Force 2, there's a lot more to do because you go town to town
And talk to
people, recruit, like all sorts of things like that. There's way more story, more characters. That's when you can explore and find items to get your special class up and things like that.
So recruitment's super important.
Yeah.
In Shining Force 2.
Yep.
Okay, can you tell
All
me?
Shining Forces recruitment is important.
Can you tell me how that? Because that makes me think of Suikoden. Can you tell me how Shining Force and Suikoden are related to one another? Like,
I mean, yeah, just that Suikoden is more of your standard RPG fare. It's not the large tactical strategy. It's more of your traditional turn-based, like Final Fantasy style battle.
Okay.
As opposed to Shining Force 2. But they are both about building an army to fight another force. Every character is different. You need as many of them as you can.
Yeah.
Some are better than others. Some are very unique or have special qualities.
Yeah.
They're very similar in that regard.
Okay. So similar themes.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. Cool. Suikoden is another game that I need to go back and finish at some point.
Yeah, I mean, starting up, I need to play through it again too. Because Suikoden 1 is, I mean, it does not look good anymore. But
I haven't looked at it in years, so
its graphics are not great. Suikoden 2 still stands up. Suikoden 2 still looks amazing.
Really?
Suikoden 2, I think, is one of the best
Boogaloo.
RPGs ever made.
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe we'll get to those.
and Shining Force 2 is in my top 10 of all games.
Shining Force 2 is on your top 10?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Loved that game.
Wow. Okay. Does Shining Force 2 Sword of Hajja, does that fall on your top 10?
No, not on the top 10, but like if I were to do a top 25, it's in my top 25.
Okay. Do you think I will like Shining Force 2?
I do.
Yeah?
Yep, I think you'll like it.
All right. Well, we'll see. Stay tuned for, I don't know, a few more weeks and find out. I think Sword of Hajja 2, or not, Shining Force 2 on Digital Trends list is like number 5 or something like that.
It's good.
It's up in the top.
It's good.
Yeah. All right. I hope I'm not disappointed.
But this
I hope
is
so.
Shining Force, especially being out on the DS store.
Yeah.
Or 3DS, like that makes it's a good buy.
Yeah.
I think it was $4.99.
How much?
$4.99, I want to say.
Wow.
So I mean, it's worth that. Absolutely.
Do you want to do your regular thing? You want to do beards and glasses?
Sure. I mean, I've got some achievements.
Oh, you have achievements.
I do.
Hi. Hi. It feels like it's been a long time since I've done this. I don't know why. It's been the normal amount of time, but what achievements would you give this game, Tyler?
My first one is Rush Hour Renegades, and that is when you recruit Rush, who is the samurai, the hidden samurai character. The other is Very Dedicated Healer, and that is when you promote Slade, who is the first healer that you get, who is incredibly shitty.
Oh, really?
Incredibly shitty. If you stick with it, he
Is he
gets
one
some
of those sleepers.
He gets some really potent healing spells once he's promoted and leveled up a lot. But getting him there is painful. Painful.
I was expecting some Chris Tucker antics with your Rush Hour achievement. I'm not gonna lie.
And then the other is Chester Cheetah. And Chester is the elf character with a long bow. So you have to use a movement item on him and unlock Chester Cheetah.
All right. He's too cool for...
Well, cheetahs are fast. His name's Chester. So Chester Cheetah.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Sorry, I thought maybe he had Tood. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
thank you for telling me about Sword of Hajja today.
You're welcome.
Sounds like a game that I would enjoy.
Yeah, especially back when you were younger. I think you
Yo,
would've loved
definitely.
it.
There's no question in my mind. Like when I was a kid, absolutely. But even now, if I had the time,
I've never seen a single ad for any Shining Force games ever.
No.
So I don't
me
know.
neither.
I think they're so good, but like I can't. They're just shittily promoted.
They weren't marketed well.
So yeah.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
Especially like the art on the Shining Force case is very like 80s fantasy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So-
weird. It's like 80s fantasy in like 90s colors.
Yeah, so it does not look appealing, and
Yeah.
looking at it, you're like, what? You don't even know what kind of game it is.
Yeah,
So-
and that's what I think the name. Like, I don't think it's named well, like, because Shining Force. Looking at that box and with the name Shining Force, I don't know what kind of game that is.
And of course, none of these 3 characters on the box in no way resemble characters in the game.
Yeah.
So it's just poorly planned.
Who was developer? Who developed the Shining Force games? Was it just Sega or what?
Sonic Software Planning.
Okay, that must be like that. Sounds like a division of Sega.
So yeah, it came out on the Virtual Console 2013. So I guess I played it. Yeah, I played it in 2013 because I got it like shortly after it came out.
That makes sense.
Series is just called Shining.
Shining.
So let's see how many games. Shining's a series of because they're a dungeon crawler, strategy, and action RPG, all that fall under the Shining umbrella. Because yeah, there's Shining Soul, Shining in the Darkness.
That sounds like a song or something, doesn't it? Shining in the darkness. Does it sound like is there like a Dio song like Rainbow in the Dark or something like that?
Or-
That's what it reminds me of.
I can't remember that one group. Damn it! Shining in the Darkness was the first-person dungeon crawler.
Shining in the dark.
Shining Force turn-based strategy style tactical role-playing games with battle scenes acted out in sprites. Other spin-offs are Shining Soul, a dungeon crawling action role-playing game with roguelike elements.
Interesting.
So it's pretty broad.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds like it. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be?
I would have to give it the ginger-ish beard of King Arthur from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that beard a lot.
It's not for everybody. It's kind of silly at times.
Yeah.
A dark dark comedy take on medieval times. But yeah, there you go.
I like the term gingerish.
Gingerish because
I like
it's
that.
kind of brownish, like a Daywalker-ish beard.
Yeah. Half blood. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
that was a very good beard. I liked it a lot. But if you were to give this game a pair of glasses, that sums up how you feel about it. What kind of glasses would you give it?
Here's a reacher. So I'd have to give it
Jack Reacher. Jack Reacher's glasses.
Reacher.
Is that a guy? Is that a guy from a movie?
Jack. Is it Jack Reacher?
I think it is. Maybe
Tom Cruise. played him.
Cruise.
Jack
It's just
something.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Reacher? Reaper?
The sword that is not a sword that looks like it's made of glass from the Wheel of Time, which is Kalendor.
Kalendor, the glass sword.
That's a whole different
Is it
conversation.
what keeps female warriors down in that universe? The glass sword?
Sorta.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Sorta.
In our universe, it's the glass ceiling, and theirs is the glass sword.
Because it is a powerful. Because I guess women can't use it. I think only men can use it. It makes men channeling way more powerful. Way more powerful.
Interesting.
So
Huh. Cool.
yeah.
I don't need to read it because I got it all figured out, as you can tell.
So I'd give it that because it's just like the Sword of Hajya is this, which a lot of you get special items in the game that are what unique items you cannot buy in the store, and then the thing that's special about them besides having high attack power is that you can use them and they'll basically do a powerful magic spell like the Atlas Axe, which you get toward the end of the game when you kill a general, get her axe, and when you use it, it casts Blaze 3. Which is the second most powerful fire spell in the game.
So
huge range.
So when you use it, how do you mean? Like when you swing it, it does it? Or?
When you just go to instead of attacking a unit, go to item, use the Atlas Axe, and then you can basically have a warrior cast a powerful Blaze 3 all over the place.
Is there a limit on how many times
You can
do
usually
it?
use them twice before they start to crack, and you have to stop, go get it repaired.
Oh, wow.
You can use it one more time after cracks appear, then it breaks and it's gone.
I see.
So, except for the Sword of Hajya, never breaks, never cracks, and
Interesting.
has like a super powerful spell on it. So.
Okay, so if weapons grant you spell-like abilities, what is the point of having a magic user?
They can use it a lot more often.
I see. So you don't have to worry about your shit breaking.
And then there are only like 3 or 4 items in the whole game that you can use
see.
that do magical
I see.
effects.
So spellcasters, I'm assuming, more versatile as
Yeah,
well.
because they'll have 4 spells that each have 4 different tiers or whatever on
Okay,
them.
I gotcha. Okay, cool.
So,
Neat. What? So what glasses?
Calendar held up to your eyes like glasses.
Okay, I gotcha.
There you go.
I see why you were putting that one off.
It's a reacher.
No, it's a Jack Reacher. Pretty sure it's Jack Reacher. Tyler,
That's all I got.
that was good. I like that. What do you want to do now?
We could probably take one or two calls.
You want to take
calls?
you want to take a call or something?
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
Oh, I wanted to talk about this game.
I like it. I like this because I like it when you talk about games that you like.
Yeah.
Because you actually talk about the games a lot when we do it that way.
Yeah.
Sometimes on the show, I feel like I'm yelling about games.
Because it sort of makes me sad nowadays. Because like there are games that like I've played, you haven't, and games that you've played that I haven't, that we wanted to play desperately.
Right.
But it's just like it's just not gonna happen.
No, it's not gonna happen.
So
no, it's not.
Because sort of Hajya, I would love for you to play. I think you'd like it.
Yeah, I'd love to play it.
It's not like I can't imagine you unless you get it on your DS and just play it like in the bathroom at work every now and then and take you forever.
Right.
But like it's not so important that you have to do it, and it's not like don't put off this other game to play it because your gaming time's limited. So it's just like
it's weird. Isn't it weird being in your 30s? Like where this like this was in any other decade of my existence was this an issue where it's like I don't know where I'm gonna find the time to play games.
Because what was it on Reddit? Somebody had said like because there's never just a good time for you because when you're young you have plenty of time.
Yeah, you don't have any money,
but no money.
And when you're old,
and plenty of energy to play the games. Yep. When you're middle aged, have plenty of money. You have enough energy, no time.
Right. Wait, what do I have plenty of?
Energy.
What is money?
Well. We could buy more games than our parents would buy us back in the day.
That is true. For good or
Look
bad.
at my Steam library, like my parents.
Right.
And then when you're old, you have time and money, but you just don't have the energy to do it.
Yeah.
So
I will. I'm making that a promise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Governor of the Fright Machine is going to have fucking energy. I guarantee it. Tyler.
Yes.
We have a text message from 520 who says, piercings, : the only reason I don't get a Prince Albert is not being able to masturbate for 6 months while it's healing. You think it would be a needle and gooter, but no, it's the lack of jerking. Thoughts?
I could never.
You could never.
Never.
Because of the 6 month wait?
Nope.
Because of the pain.
That, and I don't think it looks good, and I'd worry about the damage that one slip up, and I feel like it's gonna be bad. Like
what do you mean? Wait, one slip up? Like when they're installing it?
Yeah. What if it goes in a little sideways? What if it hits the part it shouldn't go?
Well,
it
then
shouldn't.
Then you just got a little bit of a sideways Prince Albert, I guess.
It's like
it's not about how it looks, is it? Isn't it about like?
I mean, it's got to be part of it, right?
You don't think it has to do with feeling?
I don't know. I guess I don't get why anybody would do it. What does it do? What's it good for? Is it good?
I know. I'm asking you. Like,
I don't know.
Does it make your wiener feel more pleasurable when you're inside somebody?
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, not to you, right? But maybe to them.
Maybe to them. Like if I imagine you could put attachments on it that I imagine would.
Well, I'm just kind of thinking like a tongue ring kind of thing, because like that is a very contrasting sensation.
But I can see it also like getting hung in there. And
no, I don't like. Well, what is there for it to hang on? What are you putting your wiener in? There's something for it to hang on.
They're vagina bones.
No.
They're like pockets.
No. Like hooks just hanging out inside.
There are hooks in there.
No, please don't. I don't. Ugh, no, I don't.
Human women and ducks, they have like...
human women inside of ducks. They have that.
I can imagine you have it like maybe you hit the cervix and it hangs in there or something like that.
I don't know. I don't think so. Like, are you just worried about? Are you afraid of being stuck inside the same person forever?
I'm afraid of just ripping someone's insides out.
Oh, that makes sense. That would kind of be a bummer, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oops. Sorry.
Sorry about that hysterectomy.
Yeah. Oops. Well, thanks for texting 520. Here is another text. This is from 763. Who says, "Did you like that voice? That weird."
Yeah.
Let's get right into it.
Welcome to the stage.
Yeah. Hands together, gentlemen.
She's got a pretty kitty.
763 says, "Fucking TADPOG, : Dave, you said you would fuck this oop. Promised. Earthbound, Chrono Trigger, Sunic, Herzogsvi." Thank you. Thank you, 763. Great message. Here is a voicemail from 757. Guess who didn't check to make sure volume was right for calls?
All right.
Here we go. Let's see what happens.
What's up, TADPOG? It's your beloved Adam.
Adam.
It's about 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday, June 20th. I am driving.
Can I just pause that for a moment? It feels weird for somebody to say June 20th. We're almost in November, dog.
Yep.
That's how bad we are about keeping up with these. How bad I am. That's a me thing. All right. Sorry, Adam. You're back.
About 30 minutes away from my house to where I go to church and where my family lives and my wife's family lives. A buddy of mine that has become a recent friend of mine about the last 6 months moved to Virginia from North Carolina and started working at our church and just became a really, really close friend of mine. And things just didn't work out for him here. It wasn't a good fit for him. He just figured out that this wasn't what he wanted to do and actually has a new job with the Baptist State Convention down in North Carolina, which is going to be a better fit for him. So it's always good when you find, where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing. But I'm driving over to his house now to drop off of a bookshelf that I built for him and his family.
We'll take one.
And it's bittersweet because I'm excited that he is finding the calling that he wants to be doing and has the opportunity to do it. But it also sucks because he's one of my closer friends. And I don't know. It's weird being in your 30s, newly married, because you don't have as many friends as you feel like you do.
Nope.
So when a friend does leave, you almost feel like, man, well, who do I hang out with now? So it's a good morning, but it's a little sad just because the friend's moving. And it made me think of you guys and just really wanted to call in and say thank you for befriending the TADPOG Nation and just doing what you guys do consistently, faithfully, and just doing all that you do. We really do appreciate it. I'll speak for everybody. And I also wanted to let you know that yesterday marked 9 months that I've been married to my wife. And the significance of that is that I've been listening to TADPOG longer than I've been married.
Nice.
I feel like there's very few people in that club, so I'm proud to be in there.
Chandra
so,
Paul.
If you guys ever stop recording, that's bad news for my wife because I think I'd like to keep it this way. So, guys, for the sanctity of my marriage, you got to keep going. So, hopefully that encourages you guys, and just want to let you guys know that I love you, and hopefully I'll call soon with something less touchy-feely, unless you dig it. So I'll touch and feel whatever you want. All right, love you. Bye.
Do you dig it, Tyler? Do you like the touchy-feely?
I like it. I like it every now and then. I think it's good.
Every now and then, I agree.
Yeah.
It is nice to
get real.
It is, yeah, and it's like, hey, we're all humans. You ever have a moment where you're just like, we're all humans. That's it.
Yeah. Whenever I fuck something up, like I'm just human.
Oh, really? Is that your go-to?
No.
Human error.
Yep. So sorry, not a machine.
It's just weird where it's like there are moments I have where it's like that guy and that woman running for president. They're just humans. Isn't that so bizarre? It's like they're just humans. It's like they're not like any different than us. They're humans, but it doesn't feel like it.
No. Have you had any close friends move away? Well, you moved around a lot, so I imagine you can sympathize with this.
Yeah, I moved around a whole lot, but I think it's different as a kid because it's like, there's school. When you move around as a kid, you just go to a new school and there's guaranteed to be kids there. I think when you're older, like once you're out of school, it's like, yeah, you can you'll meet people at a job, but they're not going to be your age. They're not going to have,
It's very rare you find a compatible friend in the workplace. Like, I think Bobby that I work with, I've been friends with for 2 jobs now, is like, he's the rare exception for me having a long-term friend from work.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't really think of anyone else.
Yeah, I met a lot of friends at work at Apex, but that was also while I was in school.
Yeah.
So it's like
that was like the Breakfast Club. Like
it was. It was like it was honestly like, and I was working at Apex when I was a freshman and sophomore in college too, and it was like That's the best fraternity I was in. I was in the best fraternity because it was just like a bunch of people who worked together, who were all like, we were fucking brothers. And it's really weird to put it that way, but we were. I mean, it's like, I'm very close even to the people who I worked with there, who I don't keep in contact with on a regular basis. I have this weird bond to them where I feel connected to them.
Yeah, because I mean, some people that work there I've met through like you and Brandon and John Turley being one of them, because there's like that group of people where you experience like some of the best, like one of the best jobs ever for a few years together. So
yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's that. Whenever I don't get to spend time with a lot of those guys, and I kind of like wonder how they're doing, that kind of thing. So like I get it. I totally get like. At this age, man, it's hard. It's hard to lose a friend.
Yeah. So it's difficult to make friends and keep friends and then keep in contact because people are always moving. They're going to different colleges, having to go to different cities for work. And so
you have to be flexible.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing that I've learned. And it's like, I feel like that's a thing that I'm trying to get better at every day. It's like every year that passes, it's like I realize that in order to keep friends at this point in my life, I just gotta be flexible. Like, and I can't like get tied up with petty bullshit because there's no time to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
Like when we were in our 20s, there was plenty of time for that drama. And like, I feel like now it's just kind of like, I don't know.
You let
man.
petty bullshit get to you and you haven't spoken to them for 2 years.
Yeah, right. Exactly. All of a sudden, that person.
And then it's like, oh, well, that's too far gone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you think about it a couple of years down the road and it's like, oh, I don't even know how to build that bridge back.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. The older I get, the scarier that is. And, and you know, because as we grow up, you know, other things are more important to us than they used to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just one of those things, man. I get it, Adam. I do. I understand.
That's about time.
Yeah.
End it on something real. Or do you want to do one more?
Let's do one more.
Upbeat?
Yeah, because we got really deep into that touchy-feely, I felt like. I opened up. I hope everybody appreciates that. Here is a call from Taryn.
Good morning, TADPOG.
Good morning,
This is
Taryn.
Taryn.
Hi.
Hope you're doing well.
Yes.
I believe this will be the morning after Jacob's wedding.
Oh boy, that was a while ago.
I hope that you're all still sleeping in because it's still fairly early.
No, we recorded.
And by the time you play this, Jacob and Galen will probably have 3 children. So best of luck to them. I hope you had a great time. But the reason I was calling, I'm getting into the episode while driving. And Tyler, I'm fairly disappointed that you don't know time of the season because it is featured in a Friends episode.
Is it really?
The one where Janice, I don't know the name of the actual episode, but the one, I think it's the one with the flashback or something, but the one where Janice asked, had any of them slept with any of each other, or had any of them almost slept with each other? And when Rachel is like the real ritzy, rich girl bitch, and she comes back to Central Perk when it's still a bar, when they're about to turn it into Central Perk.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And she's been flirting with Chandler the whole night, and she hits the jukebox, and that's the song that's playing. You should know things like this. I am fairly disappointed in you right now.
I don't remember that at all. I don't even hear music.
My most favorite band, Dave Matthews Band, does a phenomenal cover.
Oh, I didn't know
of
that.
Season, which I probably will tweet out to you at some point.
Show
I want a
notes.
shirt, so if you could make either a tank top or sleeveless option. I have very many t-shirts, but I'm ready for a shirt. And I hope you guys are doing great and have had an awesome weekend. So I will talk to you all soon. Dave, I'm all about you putting out this album of you singing. If you could just include me singing television theme songs like David the Gnome and Gummy Bears and Under the Umbrella Tree, I would really appreciate it. That would be great. Just like as a bonus disc.
All right.
I will talk to you all soon. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Bye, Taryn. You're welcome on my album Fuck Magic anytime. Anytime you want to lay down a track.
Anytime you want Fuck Magic.
You just name the time and you know the place. Taryn got a shirt.
She did.
I know, and we don't even.
Standard t-shirt, not a tank top.
She could make her own though.
True.
I've seen people cut them sleeves off.
Yeah, we need some Larry the Cable Guy shirt. So if you get a sleeveless Tadpog t-shirt.
I think if I look a little different on a woman, the sleeveless looks kind of nice on a woman. Not necessarily. I don't know what I guess it's because I don't have big arms, but like I don't understand the point of a sleeveless shirt.
I don't like it. I don't like them either.
I just don't.
I never
get it.
wear them.
And then like
Even to like work out in, I don't do it. I hate it.
Why don't you like it? You got those nice man arms.
Nah, my arms from gaining and losing, I've got a little bit of the extra skin on the back of my arms, so I'm not. I mean, I've had bigger arms before, but I've still never been like comfortable in them.
Yeah.
To wear a sleeveless shirt.
That's
I don't like the
interesting.
way it feels either, and I really hate the sleeveless t-shirts where they cut the sides all the way down to the bottom
Oh,
of
I
it. So it's
know,
the
right?
big. Fucking hate those.
I don't want to see some dude's nipple at the gym. That's like a day ruiner. I don't want to see a sweaty hairy nipple. I don't want to.
Well, even a girl wearing a sports bra underneath it, I just don't. I just don't like those shirts
I do
like at
love
all.
that.
So
I kind of love it, but I also kind of hate it because it's like going to the gym is very much like just keep my eyes fucking forward or closed because it's just like I don't.
why is that on the elliptical with his eyes closed?
Right. He must be working hard. Nope, he's just trying not to get either grossed out or frustrated. There's no middle ground. Where it's just like, these are humans.
See, that's your point. Like Magneto finding the point between serenity and anger in First Class. Like find the balance between frustration and gross disgust.
There's no, I mean, it's just.
That's where you can run.
I know. Yep, it's weird. I wonder how real people do it. That's when I don't feel like a person, when it's just like, here's everybody just walking around, not thinking what everyone else looks like naked.
Or they are, and everyone's just pretending.
Yeah, I hope that's the case.
Everyone has that tight social contract.
Maybe my mutant ability is just imagining people naked. That's just it. Yeah. That's my superpower.
Yeah.
And it's like a blessing and a curse because I can't turn it off for anybody.
No, it's like that telepathy that you can't help.
Exactly. Right.
Oh, that's all I got. We're definitely at time now.
All right, let's close it out.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. So don't miss the next episode. We're back, Original Flavor Wednesday, counting down through Digital Trends top 25 Sega Genesis games. What's next?
Pulse Man.
Pulse. You told me that? All right. Pulseman. Pulseman. Chet Pulseman.
Ooh, that's a good name. That's a power name. That's weird. That's maybe not a power name, but like an early 70s porn star name. Or not even a porn star, just like a male escort. Chet Pulseman.
Have you seen Gigolos?
Is that the movie with Rob Schneider?
That's Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo.
No.
Which Blake Woods loves.
Really?
Blake Woods loves it.
Is it an underrated comedy? I've never seen it.
It's not good.
What?
Especially now, it's not good.
What is Gigolos?
It's one of those HBO sex reality shows like Real Sex or Polyamory, but all about male escorts in Vegas.
Interesting.
And they are all just like, if you wanted to assemble your own douchebag Justice League, it's this cast of gigolos,
the Sinister Six.
Yeah. It's hilarious in how just awful they all are.
Yeah. Do you think that is how our wives might feel when we're watching like the Bunny Ranch?
Yeah, maybe.
Where they're like, I cannot believe these women.
Melissa loves Cat House. Like we've sat down and watched all of Cat House together.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think you can still love it, but resent the people in it. That's my point.
Well, most of them, she just did like, there's like, why does she even work there? Who's picking her in the lineup? Like,
I gotcha.
I don't know who's picking that girl with Isabella Soprano standing right there. You're right. I don't get it either.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The decision is clear. I've never seen. Maybe I've seen a little bit of that show, but I haven't seen all of it.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
There
are a lot of those.
There's 2 seasons, and I think the documentary-ish movie that started it.
Huh. Cool.
So yeah.
Have you ever thought about being a gigolo?
No.
I mean,
Dick's not big enough for that.
Oh, is that holding you back? I don't think. But
I imagine that I don't like interacting with strangers enough.
Yeah.
To walk in and just be able to fuck a stranger.
Yeah. Dad, what do you think that's like? Because I'm not either. I don't know how I would handle that. I guess it would just be like, I would be the worst gigolo. Like anyone who ever bought time with me would just be like, oh, this was a fucking mistake. Because I would just ask a lot of questions like, I mean, do you want me to take my pants off? Is it time to do that?
What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Yeah, exactly. Are you, yeah, right. Are you hungry?
do you like Jack in the Box?
Right. You ever had a slice of Emo's pizza? I would try to prolong sex as long as possible. Like try to get out of an hour without actually like with any means possible. Oh, oops, I shit myself. Do you? I mean,
Can I go? No, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
Let's
You remember that time that I derailed the outro?
It's fine. Let's see. iTunes' biggest marketplace, so please find us on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. Write a review.
Yeah.
You can buy shirts. We have shirts on Amazon.
Yes.
Just type in TADPOG. You'll find our shirt. It's the blue one.
The blue ones.
And you can leave a 5-star written review there.
That would be really cool.
So you can also comment. Patreon people can also comment on Patreon.
Man.
Because there's
we
on all the episodes and all that.
We got to talk about Patreon people,
Yeah,
man. We owe them a bonus episode.
Yeah.
We got to do that. October's not over yet. I mean, we're late, but we're like, if October ends and we do not have a bonus episode, I'm going to feel like a shitty human being.
No, we're supposed to, everything would have lined up yesterday to have done one, but I decided to do something with my wife instead. So I derailed that process. So we'll make up for it.
No one's blaming you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man, we got to.
Yeah,
we got to
yeah,
do
we
it.
got a week.
We got to do it. We're running out of time.
Yep.
TikTok.
So, so if there's a guest host you want for an episode, a game you want us to play, Patreon request, we're on Facebook and Twitter too. So just get in touch with us, and whatever you ask, we'll get to that eventually.
Don't worry, guys. Like Tyler said, we're going to be back. We're going to be talking about Pulseman. Chet M.R. Pulseman. He's got 2 middle initials. That's how fucking gigolo he is. In the meantime, you can always find us on tadpog.com. That's where the show notes live. Hey, guess what? I enjoyed this conversation with Tyler today so much that I didn't make many notes. So you can check it out if you want. I'll have a link there to the Deuce Bigelow trailer. That's for sure. Can't find that on your own. I know. So it's right there. You can also find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/tadpog. We're on Twitter. We are at tadpog_podcast. It's cumbersome, I realize. Big thank you, everyone out there, for retweeting us, especially our episode announcements, because it helps spread the word. As we mentioned earlier when I was shaming ourselves, we do have a Patreon. If you enjoyed this show and would like to reward us with money or bookshelves, Adam, you can find us at patreon.com/tadpog. I want to take a moment to thank a few people who have recently pledged. Micah Purdue, a.k.a. Exalted Lord Mike of Purdue, still riding that penny train, still doing it right. I'd like to thank Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, a.k.a. Phil Hawkins, for upping his pledge recently. Thank you very much. And I'd like to thank Brett Miller as well for recently upping his pledge. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much. You can call us if you want. Leave us a voicemail or a text message at 270-883-2555. As you heard, we're now taking calls from June. So don't expect to hear it real soon. That's my point. But still, please call, because I love looking at that large number. I'm a numberist. It gives me great pleasure to look down and be like, this many people have called us.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's see. You want to send us something?
I don't. I would just give it to you.
That's true. You probably should.
Oh, you're not talking to me. My bad.
So if there's like a game you want us to expedite and play, or food you want us to try, whatever. I'll just throw away your garbage,
Yes.
Nicole has to get it first, so just put that into consideration.
And I know she sent me a message today. There was some new stuff in the P.O. box.
Fucking A. Awesome.
I didn't have time to get it today, but it's hopefully sometime this week.
Awesome. So if you want to send us anything, that is Tadpog Studios, care of Nicole Nance.
P.O. Box.
P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002.
How confident are you with that address?
The number, I'm fine. I just got derailed in my repetition.
Okay, gotcha. What else do we do here? Our intro is Moves by Sycamore Drive. A link to that track can be found in the show notes at tadpog.com.
Yeah.
Guess who hasn't said that in a long time?
I'm about to say, it's been a while since you
Me.
said that.
Me. I struggled through that. I was like, as I was saying it, I didn't believe my own words.
We also have an Instagram, tadpog_podcast on Instagram.
Yeah, we have a Twitch channel. Check it out. Just search for Tadpog on Twitch. We have a, are you ready for this? We have a Steam group, which we haven't mentioned in probably 3.5 years, but people still keep joining it, which is crazy to me. That means that either people are listening to our old episodes where we've mentioned it, or people are actively searching for Tadpog on Steam, which is like,
that's awesome.
which like makes my eyes bleed because it's just like I can't believe it. It's just like I don't understand what's happening. So that's really neat. If you want to join our Steam group, it is public. So just join it. Just do it.
Yeah. So how would you like to close this out, Dave?
Like 2 chickens who are about to be murdered for human consumption.
Okay, maybe that. So until next time.
I like that. Man. Wow, that was good. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Kids in the Hall.
Oh, the chicken lady.
Chicken lady when she has when she orgasms.
I used to live here, right?
Yeah. When she comes on that fucking horse ride. If you could have exploded into gingerish
feathers.
feathers, that would have been great.